Welcome to RPG Ranked, the channel where all your favorite RPGs are ranked.
What is up, everybody? I am Brighton from RPG Ranked, and if you've ever been on the channel before, I bet you could have assumed this was coming. I make Octopath videos like every other day at this point, but in this video we'll be ranking the 16 main protagonists from Octopath 1 and 2. If you enjoy RPG content, especially Octopath Traveler content, please like, subscribe, and comment down below your favorite Octopath Traveler characters. Alright, let's get right into this tier list. For the most part, I love all the characters, but there are a couple of bad ones here and there, so I will be telling you which ones I like and which ones I dislike. I'm just going to go with the order of this tier list here, and starting with Ophelia. I love Ophelia, A tier. She's so nice. She goes around and all she wants to do is help people. She really loves her sister, she loves her dad, and she is just so kind. She literally makes the sacrifice for her sister just so that her sister can be with her dad in the last moments, even though it's also her dad. She's just a great human being. Everyone needs to be a little bit more like Ophelia. She is just awesome. She's super nice, and while that's mostly her personality, it's just being nice and helping people, that's why she's not an S or S plus tier. They did a really good job of just making her a great character that helps out. Alright, we're going to move Alfyn to later, because, Alfyn. Alright, let's move on to Cyrus, who is going to be in C tier. Cyrus is charming. There are a lot of things I like about Cyrus, but he's the one character where there's a lot I like about him and a lot I don't like about him. I like that he really is knowledgeable, I like that he's funny, I like that he is bubbly, and he's not a boring school teacher. He's a fun school teacher. But he's also the most oblivious dude on the planet. This girl literally basically is like, I love you. And he's like, let's learn. And it's just the cringiest thing. I can't stand the fact that he's so oblivious. And he's one of the oldest characters in the series, and he's so oblivious. If he was 16, I could understand being oblivious. I'm 16 and I'm pretty oblivious, but he's supposed to be the smartest dude, and I guess that kind of adds to the fact that he can't be smart at everything. But if you're gonna make an oblivious character, have it be Alfyn or Tressa or something, someone who makes sense for them to be oblivious. But him, it's annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying. Very annoying. Yeah, Cyrus is something, but yes, there are a lot of things I like about Cyrus, but most of the things I liked about Cyrus got carried to other characters like Osvald or Temenos, and I like those guys better, so yeah. Alright, let's move on to Olberic, who I'm going to put right behind Ophelia. He's a great guy. He talks to himself a lot, and it's so funny. He just has this huge monologue for ages, right before a boss fight, and it's oh, we're doing all this, or right after a boss fight, or just in a hallway. He, a 40-year-old dude just talking to himself. It's so funny to me. He is stoic, but also not stoic. He really cares about people. He's we need more protagonists that aren't just 16-year-old high schoolers. That's kind of getting old. We want some more old men like Olberic who are still compassionate, who still really care, who are strong, and he's awesome. I love Olberic. Is he great in battle? Not really, but is he great in terms of story and personality? Yes, I love Olberic. He's a great one. Alright, let's move on to... Oh, is this just all... Is this kind of boring? I'm going to shuffle some around. I don't want it to just be Octopath 1 and then 2. Yeah, okay, now it's shuffled around a bit. And now, what even is that? Is that... Oh, that's Partitio, isn't it? Alright, let's move on to Partitio. Yeah, that is Partitio, right? I cannot see, these are so small. Yes, that is Partitio. Alright, Partitio I have in S tier. One thing that takes him away from being S plus tier are a couple of his choice languages. Chickadee! Oh my gosh, what? Why? Nobody says chickadee. That is the cringiest thing to me. If you say okay, I know a couple of people who can say chickadee and have it be awesome, but like, oh my gosh. You go from being an epic Wild West dude who's trying to save the world from poverty, and then you say chickadee. Like, please save me from this Partitio. Other than that, though, I love him. He's saving the world from poverty. He is like a cowboy dude from the Wild West. He is an epic merchant, but at the same time, not as good of a merchant as Tressa, honestly, but he's a business partner, and he knows what's up with the sense of commerce. That's actually a pretty cool part of the game. You can get ships, you can get, what did he call them? Gramophones? Yeah, that's what it is, gramophones. You can get histories of the world, you can get a lot of cool stuff. Partitio, and from all the chapters I've played so far in Octopath 2, Partitio's first chapter is still my favorite. I love Partitio. Just some of his choices of language just make me cringe. But other than that, I love Partitio. Great dude. Love his personality. For the most part, his hat is one of the best hats I've ever seen. And he's just amazing. Alright, let's move on to Throné, who I'm going to put in B tier. B tier, yes. Throné is very cool. It's hard to relate, though, to a thief on the streets who is murdering a bunch of people. She doesn't want to be murdering people, and she really regrets it. She hates the smell of blood, and she is bad A. But I honestly, it's hard for me. Like, I love dark stories, but I don't love dark characters as much, and it's really hard for it to balance out. I would say, like, my favorite, the most well done, in my opinion, of the balance would be, like, Yuri from Tales of Vesperia, where he has a dark character, like, motivations, but he balances out with, like, happiness and bubbliness and stuff. That is, like, that type of character, like Yuri, or, like, Alfyn in Tales of Xillia, like, Alvin, sorry, I'm getting mixed up with Alfyn down here, my boy, but, yeah, it's hard for me to relate to someone like this, and she's really cool, and I'm so excited. I've played 2 of her chapters. Her second chapter is fantastic, so good, and her story is basically the Primrose of this game. It's so good, but just like I don't really love Primrose that much, I love Throné's story, but she's not my favorite character, because of course she's murdering a bunch of people, and yeah. I get it. She's a really cool character, a well-done character, don't get me wrong, but I like characters with more fun, like, relatable personalities than characters who are murdering people, as one should. Alright, let's move on to Primrose. Oh my gosh, actually, I'm going to change the color. 2 yellow tears is bugging me. Light gray, for kind of bad, but not trash. Primrose, I love her story, but she is annoying. Like, okay, during her story, she's cool, right? She's cool, but any of her travel banter always just, I do not, anytime she talks in her travel banter, she drives me nuts. Like, her dialogue is great during her story's great, but then when she interacts with your other characters, it makes me want to rip all my hair out, my eyes out, my ears off. That's why she's not an F, because she's good during the story, but as soon as she gets off, she's just like, I'm a beautiful dancer, and you guys should all worship me. I love my beauty. I'm like, girl, get some humility. Be like Agnea, for heaven's sakes, who can appreciate that she has talents, but also appreciate the fact that she isn't everyone isn't revolved around her. She's a bad A in her story, but come on. Like, how do you go from being this cool to being a complete, diva? It's so... I don't understand. I don't like Primrose very much. Her story is my favorite. I love her story from the first game, but... she's so much. She's just... I don't like her. Alright, she isn't my least favorite, though. There's someone in F, so, I mean... Yeah, Primrose is not my favorite. Alright. Let's move on from Primrose to Agnea, the good version of Primrose, who I'm going to put in the top of A tier. My only problem with Agnea, and for the most part, Agnea is just a more fun version of Ophelia, so I would put her in S tier, except she is a bit full of herself at times. She's like, look at my talents, which, I mean, she's a dancer. Of course she's going to display her talents. But there are times where she's a bit much. And she's a little bit too happy and go-lucky sometimes, where it's not even... It's a little bit unrelatable because she's too happy. But also, for me, if I could choose one thing to do in this world, it would be being, like, not too big of a star that, like, I would be followed by the paparazzi and not have a life. But maybe, like, a 3-hit wonder. Like, people would know about me, but not, like... I mean, I'm making a nerdy YouTube channel. You probably wouldn't know that my favorite things are playing the piano and singing, but they are. And I can really relate to Agnea. I'm not good at dancing. Don't even ask. You do not want to see me dance. However, I can relate to Agnea a lot, but she isn't the most interesting. I'm not the most interesting. Agnea's not the most interesting. I can relate to her, but she's not my favorite. Alright, let's move on to, is that Ochette? Yes, Ochette. Okay, Ochette is a S+ tier for me. She's just so fun, so charming. She's not human, but she's like super fun. She's adorable. The way she talks to everybody, the way she interacts with everyone. It's just, I'm not a furry, guys. I promise. I hope I don't sound anything like weird like that. But I'm just saying that, like, she's a really fun and adorable character. She's really charming. And I don't know. She's just super... She just has a vibe. She's just a vibe. And I don't know. It's just... Every time you go to the... Like, her hometown, it just feels so different from the rest of the world. It's super cool. She's a beastling. And just like I love most of these beast-type characters, like, I loved Sveta in Golden Sun Dark Dawn, or like, what, Tales of Symphonia. Like, I guess those are elves, but like, kind of like humanoid creatures, but aren't humans. They always just have a fun vibe to them. I don't know. I just love these type of characters. Alright, let's move on to Tressa, who is going to be in bottom of A tier. For me, she's just like, kind of like Agnea, but not as fun for me. Not as relatable. Probably, like, if I didn't relate to Agnea, it'd probably be... it'd probably look like this, but I really do relate to Agnea, so I have her there. But Tressa is just really fun. Is her story the best? I mean, I loved her chapter 3, but is her story the best? No. Come on. No. It's not really that good. But Tressa's a fun character, and some of the things she says are just super iconic, and she has some of the best travel banter. She's like, I love a man who can get the best prices or something. Like, what the heck? She's just funny. But, she's not the best. She's charming. She's not as fun as these characters. I think the A tier is just where all the, like, really, like, nice characters go. Because they're not, like, super, like, anything, like, super special. But they're all just great people. Like, they're all fun. They're all great. So yeah, that's how I feel about Tressa as well. Osvald gives me the same vibe as Throné. It's hard to relate to a dude that's like in prison and like... I mean, I guess he's more relatable than Throné, but he's also less interesting. So they're both just kind of in the middle for me because they're like... I love their stories, but again, they're like super dark to the point where... I guess Osvald's more relatable, but he's also not as interesting. So I kind of just put him here. Like, he loves to read. A lot of people love to read. Or, like... Well, he's also probably more relatable to the older people playing this game because he's, like, the oldest person. I can't remember. I think he's older than Olberic. Maybe? A lot of people think he's hot, too, which is kind of funny. But, like, he's cool. I will always say Osvald's cool. I mean, I picked him for my starting character because I thought he'd be the coolest. And he is cool, but he just isn't. He doesn't have the most fun personality. He like Throné, a great character, well done character. I loved when he froze the straw and was like, "Now we have a boat." That was hilarious. That was probably the thing I laughed at the most. He's like a great guy, but like I like these other characters better. That's what it comes down to. All right, my man Temenos, my second favorite Octopath character. I had no expectations. None. I was like, okay, male Ophelia. Here we go. Another nice cleric character. Here we go. He's going to be a weak starting character again. He's not going to be the best character to get. He's probably just going to be Ophelia again. But no! He's like freaking cleric Sean Spencer from Psych. He's hilarious. Him and Crick are like buddy cop in a steampunk world. He's hilarious. He always wants to like break down doors and stuff and coerce information out of people. And I'm like, he's like the equivalent of like the youth pastor of Octopath. Like, he's epic. He's hilarious. He's not your typical priest. I think he's the most, like, of all the characters on this list, I think he's the most unique of all of them. I've not ever seen, like, literally the closest I can think of is Sean Spencer to Temenos, and that's not even that close. Mostly just because, like, they're both detectives and they're both, like, kind of have a buddy cop vibe, but Temenos just has undeniable charm. I can't think of anyone like him. He isn't my favorite character in the series. There's one more that I like better than Temenos, but he's so cool. And for having such low expectations, I was blown out of the water. I love his second chapter. I'm so excited to play more of his chapters, and he's so cool. Alright, let's move on to Hikari, who is an S tier character. I love people who are the nobles and they just treat everybody with the best respect, the kindest. Like, he would be an A tier because he's just another one of those like super nice characters, but he's also super brave. He knows when to flee, even like he's just super smart. Like, he just is very, like, he's emotionally smart. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to use a sword. He's a really cool warrior character. But yeah, he's a prince that is just any prince that will go down and go with the commoners and just be like, yo, what's up? You're my friends. That scene where, like, he's like, these are common people. Get away from them. And he's like, these are my friends, dude. Like, get away. You're stupid. And then he just roasts the guards, and then all the people, like, start clapping for him, and they're like, our Prince Hikari! And then I loved the part where they, like, appointed him as king, because the king was like, don't fail like I did. And it was kind of like Thor and Odin, kind of, in Marvel and stuff. But I loved Hikari. I also had pretty low expectations for Hikari, because I don't know what I thought. I was just like, he just sounds like the basic, like, protagonist. But he's, like, a really good, like, basic protagonist. And he really isn't basic. But for being a character that I thought was going to be by the numbers, he was just awesome. I love Hikari. Alright, let's move on to Haunted, who is also an S-tier character for me. While her story is by far my least favorite story of everything, like, both games, I don't care about you beating... I mean, I cared about the Red Eye and the Master, but, like, every chapter was... We go to a town, we talk to some people, we go to a forest, go to a town, talk to some slightly cooler people, go to a forest, go to a town, talk to some even more cooler people, go to a forest. And while her fourth chapter was pretty good, it was still one of the worst ones. But her personality is just so funny. She gives me, like, Downton Abbey vibes, where, like, her humor is completely different than everyone else. She talks completely different than everyone else. But it's just so funny seeing her interact with these characters that talk nothing like her. And she just has a completely different charm. And a lot of people think it's annoying. And I didn't think it was annoying. I thought it was just, like, quirky. She's not like other girls. Just kidding. But, like, when she was like, come in if thou darest, in every battle, I just laughed. Like, it was so funny. Kind of like how Olberic talks to himself. Just the come in if thou darest. And... like, I don't know, like, drinketh this tavern beer or whatever. I don't even know what she said, but all of it was just super fun. And while I hated her story, I still really had a fun time playing through it, even though I didn't really like it, because Haunted was just such a fun character. Alright, let's move on to whoever this is. Oh, Castti. Castti is, like, the most mid character. Like, I have almost nothing to say about her, except... she's kind of boring. she's the epitome of a C tier character. She's average as you get. Well, she has amnesia, and she's like nice, like Ophelia, but she isn't like out of her way nice. She's just like, oh, I guess I'm an apothecary, so now I'm gonna go help people. And how do I even remember that I know how to help? I don't know. I feel like she has potential for later chapters, so take this one with a grain of salt. I feel like I might like Castti better, but just every time I'm just comparing her with Alfyn, and I'm just like, bruh, Castti, you're just like, there's Amnesia done right, Lost Odyssey, amazing, but like here, Amnesia, no, I don't want an like the apothecary character is like my favorite, and when you give them amnesia and all they talk about is, who am I don't know. It could have been another Alfyn, guys. It could have been another Alfyn, but whatever. Cassie's just mid. I don't really know what to say about her, except C tier. Alright. Therion. My dad loves Therion, by the way. Therion's like his favorite Octopath character, and I do not understand why. Therion's easy F tier for me. Therion was like Squall in FF8, but worse. He's just like, anytime anyone ever talks to him, he's like, whatever. If you want. Like, he's just so off-putting. Like, and he's a thief. He steals for a living. And he somehow convinces Tressa, a happy merchant. If you choose, like, if you go and do his story after you have recruited other characters, how is Tressa going to help break into a mansion for no reason? I can't even, it's so unbelievable. But anyway, that took me out of the game a little bit. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Because Therion is just really boring until like the last 3 minutes of his final chapter. Last 3 minutes of his final chapter, I'd give him C, because he trusts people, and then he all of a sudden is kind of cool, and then he just kind of reminds you of that friend that doesn't really show their emotions well. And that's fine. I am okay with people who don't show their emotions well. But when you just whatever to everyone, like, it's not a fun character. All you can think of is how he's just annoying. Like, Therion is just annoying. He's basically Squall on steroids and isn't as cool as Squall. He doesn't have a gunblade. How would he be as cool as Squall? Like, come on. Anyway. At least he isn't an emo high schooler. It could be worse, but come on. You could have been as cool as Throné. But no, you're boring. You say whatever to everything. Like, dude. I don't know. My dad thinks he's like S+ tier. And I'm like, Dad, what? Did you play a different game? Or were you like having delusions of grandeur? Or were you smoking weed or something? Because I do not relate. But guys, if you like Therion, please tell me. I want to know what you like about Therion, because obviously this is an opinion. Like, if you love Therion, awesome. And I still like him. Just, it's comparative. He's better than a lot of characters. Like, he's better than FF1. He's better than like FF3. At least he has character. That's better than like half the RPGs can say. He's better than those silent protagonists that plague half the games these days. But compared to like these guys, like, come on. Even Primrose makes him seem like, even Primrose just shows him up, and that's saying something, because I don't like Primrose. Alright, saving the best for last, my man, Alfyn. Dude, if Alfyn was a real person, me and him would be best friends. Like, Agnea plus Alfyn is what I strive to be, at least, and I like to think that I'm Agnea plus Alfyn, with a little bit of Partitio, and I'm kind of acting high, but like, I'd like to think I'm just Agnea plus Alfyn, and I'm not as cool as either of them. I'm not as, like, my morals are probably not quite as good, but I love both of them. But Alfyn is just the bro. He doesn't care about money. He's just going around helping people. He's, like, he has a fun personality. He has a cool best friend. He goes through a lot of character development with Ogun and stuff, and he's just epic. Like, he talks to little girls and is like, talking about seashells and stuff. I don't know. Alfyn is just the coolest guy. Like, one of my favorite video game characters of all time. He's up there with Jansen Freed. I never thought I'd say anyone is up there with Jansen Freed from Lost Odyssey. Or Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean if we're counting movies. But Alfyn is kind of up there. One of my favorite characters in RPGs. Why? He's just epic. Like, I don't know what to say. After I play all of Temenos' stories, Temenos might jump in front of Alfyn because he's just hysterical. However, we'll see. We will see. I don't know. Like, Temenos might end up being my favorite Octopath character once I finish the game. However, as it is, Alfyn is my favorite Octopath character. Thank you guys all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please check out my other Octopath videos. There's probably like 15 of them at this point. I don't even know. I don't even know how many there are. I probably can't count them on both my hands. But if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and check out other videos on the channel, and comment down below. And if you really are a dedicated fan of this channel, thank you so much. And thank you for watching to the end of the video. If you want to buy some merch, there is some cool merch down in the comments, down in the description. Since we're on the biggest channel, we don't have like tons of merch. We're not Mr. Beast gaming over here, but we have some cool stuff. Some shirts, some mugs, and stuff that you can buy down below. And yeah, thank you guys all for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please support me by checking out some other videos. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, RPG nerds.